Okay, so obviously I'm watching the morning news. Um, talk about vaccination, of course. Vaccination. No matter what, it's the lead story. So yesterday I tried to do, um, I was going to do a reaction to The Masked Singer, which I thought I did. But of course, the microphone wasn't working. My computer updated yesterday and it took like 4 hours. I thought it was going to take 10 minutes. So right before The Masked Singer, I was like, okay, I could still do this real quick. And it didn't end up working. It was a hoot too, because who ended up getting revealed was crazy. If you saw it, I'm not spoiling it, and I wasn't going to spoil it in my reaction either, but it was really funny what they did. So even if you don't normally watch The Masked Singer, go on the website and watch it, or if it's on demand or whatever, just watch one episode, because this was funny what they ended up doing. And they're getting tricky with the clues and everything, so the clues are now misleading and whatnot. But so they're talking to Fauci. Let me see what this idiot's saying. I'll come right back. Of course he's saying another surge. I saw his boo-boo face when he started. But the fact is, he's right. And he hasn't been wrong about how the virus will play out. He's been wrong about the advice he gave and what he told people to do. And that wasn't his job, and it never should have been, and nobody should listen to him in that way. They just should have listened to what he had to say about the disease itself, because that's his job. That's what he knows how to do. Nobody elected him. Nobody told him to be our boss, and nobody should have let him be our boss. But people wanted to listen to him instead of President Trump, who was right all the time. And anyway, I guess this video was about the news because I saw a story I wanted to talk about, but of course, we're in real time here, so. Look, I agree. They're opening up too fast now, because every step of the way, the people in charge have done things the wrong way. And now that we have weakened ourselves for a year, now that there's all these different variants, I mean, I saw people being told they could hug their grandkid right away after getting the second shot in their arm. Like, the grandkid was there because they were like one of the people giving the shots. Like, oh, go ahead and hug him. She's going to get sick now. You know what I mean? And it's like, you don't do that. People are being stupid, and now the bomb that everybody was waiting for, of everybody getting sick, has the potential to happen. If this disease is anywhere near the minimum of what it is, as catchy as it is, all the people who were susceptible, all those people in those groups that are supposedly getting vaccines and stuff like that, it's gonna blow up in everybody's face, and then they will have the means to lock us down for good. And they will have the excuse, well, now look what happened. We didn't expect this. Everybody started opening up. You shouldn't have opened up. That's what they're going to say. Watch. Fucking idiot is talking about we had such divisiveness in our country. No. You were freaking playing games. Oh my God. You wanted to be Mr. Famous. You wanted to have Brad Pitt playing you on Saturday Night Live. You wanted to be that guy. All these people doing whatever they can in this world just to see their own stinking face. It's really disgusting. I freaking had it with people. Oh, just, I don't know who these people think they are. The point was there was a disease, and you couldn't stop it. And they pretended that you could. And instead of saying, you know what, a lot of people are going to die, let's keep calm and carry on and just push through the way people did right after 9/11. I mean, if people had just, like I said, we're all weakened now. I mean, my brain is mashed potatoes at this point. And they're going to suddenly want us all to go back to being the way we were, which is ridiculous. I don't know who these people think. I don't know what they think. I don't know what kind of brains they supposedly have, but... And I say words like supposedly and firstly because I think they're funny. I know they're not real words. Trust me, I know. Okay, so they're talking about the stimulus, which I'll probably do a whole nother video on that. So, story that the reason I have this thing up is the story that caught my eye this morning before the news even started. Look at this. Amanda Gorman's Catalan translator dropped because of profile. This is completely 400% racist, okay? A translator from Spain says his version of a poem read at U.S. President Joe Biden's inauguration was rejected because he had the wrong profile. I do not know how to say this man's last name. I will try it once. Victor Obiols was commissioned to work on the Catalan translation of Amanda Gorman's The Hill We Climb last month. But after he completed the project, the publishers said they wanted a translator who was, quote, a woman, young, activist, and preferably black, unquote. Amanda Gorman, 22, was the youngest poet ever to perform at a U.S. presidential inauguration in January. Her 5-minute poem, which referenced the storming of the Capitol, received praise from around the world following months of debate about racial justice in the U.S. and abroad. Victor, can't say his last name, whose previous work includes translations of Shakespeare and Oscar Wilde, was asked to translate Gorman's poem and a foreword by Oprah Winfrey into Catalan several weeks ago. But the editor of Barcelona publisher Univers told Spain's EFE news agency on Wednesday that after the translation was complete, the company received a request from the U.S. group Viking Books for the work to be carried out by a female activist with African American origins, if possible. So this Viking Books is apparently a racist organization who, I mean, this is completely, again, you're not supposed to do this. Maybe they can do this because they're hiring somebody in another country. I don't know. In this country, you are not supposed to discriminate people based on race in terms of hiring them for work. If they start letting these things go, everything this country is built upon is going to vanish. Okay? The idea of people being equal, everything Martin Luther King talked about, people being judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin, that is going to vanish. Because these idiot people who are so stupid and they want to see race all day long are creating the racist world they supposedly hate, they supposedly don't want. They're making everything about race. They are the ones judging people based on race. They are the ones who do not want to hire people based on race. This man was already hired to translate this thing. Apparently up above it says that the Dutch translator of the same poem had to quit because they were receiving backlash because I guess they're not black either. So now only black people can translate poems by black people. Only black actors can portray black cartoon characters. And I'm not just saying that's just about black people, because the people who are doing this want people, of course, actors to only play themselves. So all the great things, and I should make a video about this too. There have been so many people over time who've played other things than what they are. There are women who've played men. There are people who've played, completely different races. Some of the all-time great, iconic performances. I was going to say Al Pacino and Scarface. Al Pacino was not Cuban, right? I don't know how many people love that movie. I don't know how anybody in their right mind who would say, oh, somebody could have done a better job than Al Pacino. But now this is the world we live in. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to erase Al Pacino, these stupid idiots. We've come to complete critical point of stupidity and complete racism, because that's what this is. This is racism. And this is what I was coming on to talk about this morning. I don't understand how anybody thinks this is a good idea, but it's happening. And it's young people who, honestly, in terms of history, young people have probably faced the least racism in the United States of anybody going back generations. But because of that, now it seems like they're looking for it everywhere. They're looking in the cupboard. They're looking under the bed. They're looking for the boogeyman. They're looking for somebody who is going to potentially harm them one day. They are looking to find somebody who secretly hates them because they keep being taught about racism and they don't experience it. So they know it must be going on behind their back. That person over there who's looking at me funny, it's not the stupid outfit I'm wearing. They're racist. You know what I mean? We've entered maximum stupidity. And it's disgusting, and it's making this world a horrible place. And this is absolutely 400% wrong. This is being racist in hiring. This is saying you cannot do this job because you are not the right race, you are not the right gender, you are not the right age. Ageism, racism, sexism. It's insanity. It's this is what you wanted. This is what they wanted. Yeah, there's stupid people who believe in tit for tat, and stupid people who will say, well, they did it to us, now let's do it to them. An eye for an eye, and the whole world's blind. Please stop the shit. Stop being stupid. If things like this become the norm, if you have to have a vaccine vaccine passport to travel, I mean, they are getting to totalitarian bullshit, and because of one stinking derm, the whole world is going to go along with it. Because of one flu-like virus that the vast majority of people who got it survived, the vast majority, you've let everything that society built up over decades, over centuries, collapse into incredible stupidity and just such backwards thinking, and you're okay with that? Do you think, when you hear a story like that, if you think it's okay that somebody can only translate a poem if they're the same race and gender and age bracket of the person who wrote the poem, if you believe that that makes sense, if you believe that that is just and that is something we should strive for and that's how things should be, you're a racist. Not only that, you're ageist, you're sexist, all those things, but you're also very stupid. And if the world is run by people like you, no decent person is going to want to live in it. I'm going to end this. I'll go back and talk about the other things I was going to talk about later on. But I saw that this morning and I was like, I can't believe anyone would think this is a good idea. Take away a job from one person, give it to somebody else because of their race, because of their age, because of their gender. It's sick. It's disturbing. What society are you trying to create? What are you doing?